24 in overtime in the season's final week. But the Rams got the last laugh in the NFC Championship game with a 20-17 victory.
So from Rams territory now, it's 47.
And Lance again going to keep it.
And he is going to lose yardage here. One of the best of the last decade or so, Bobby Wagner in to bring him down. He'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. On the counter, Hunt. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though.
To throw, it's Lance.
Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now. Here's Mitch Wishnowsky now on to punt.
Back deep, Brandon Powell.
Yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
Here comes the Los Angeles offense and a man in charge of it in his 2nd season with the team, 14th overall in what's been an impressive career. Matthew Stafford.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Stafford. He'll get this one to Cup, complete. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And that will be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Man open, it's Cup. He's got it. Touchdown, LA! That certainly went against the traditional ways of playing football, but who cares? Look at the result. Big touchdown.
They went for it on their own side of the 50. So there's conservative, there's aggressive, and there's really aggressive, which is what we just saw there. Tip of the cap to them.
They're going to try and run. And he will get in to make it 8-0. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. From the 10. At 29. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their 2nd drive.
Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Excellent effort defensively. Tackle for loss goes to Leonard Floyd.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
Throwing now is Lance. And that one,
and now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. In our meetings this week, they kind of tipped us off. They wanted to play ultra-aggressive, forcing fumbles. They just did that right there.
They took it to the next level, didn't they? You're exactly right, because everyone talks about being aggressive on defense and tackling well. But they were talking about getting after the football, making sure the ball was stripped out each and every time they lined up someone to get them on the ground.
And the adjustment working early.
1 quarter down, 8-0 to score.
The Rams with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Meanwhile, Stafford's throw pulled in by Jefferson. And he'll be brought down at the 27. The Rams at 2-1 now to start the campaign. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
To throw again on second down. Stafford, throw left side, complete to Kupp.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
As he gets the first down, let's take a look at what Cooper Kupp did last season, because it was one of the greatest years for a receiver in NFL history. 145 catches, 1,947 yards, both second most in a season all time. Truly MVP caliber performance for the Super Bowl champs, and he capped it off in the Super Bowl himself as the MVP.
Throwing again at Stafford.
Complete. Jefferson the target.
So the completion good for just 3. And now 2 yards to go on third down. 2 minutes gone by, second quarter. And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about.
And he's got it. That's Kupp for a Ram touchdown. A great play there. With his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year.
And the Rams have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, I give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Well, split the difference, and they're right where they would have been with 2 PATs. They got the 2-point conversion the first time. They failed there.
Interesting, isn't it? Because the first time you go after your first score, that feels like a gamble. The second time when they tried it again, that felt like, what the heck, right? Because, as you said, even if you miss it, you split the difference, and you're right on schedule at 14.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
On 2nd and 9, Lance. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away.
Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10.
And we're going to look at Cooper Kupp as the Rams offense gets ready to take over possession.
There's a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
It kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we're going to the headliner each and every time. And that's not easily done because you know all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic, finding ways to get open, even when he's not supposed to be.
He gets this into the hands of Kupp once again. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10.
Stafford's throw here hauled in by Kupp.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
From the red zone now, Stafford. And he's got it. That's Kupp for a Ram touchdown. Make that now 3 first-half touchdown passes for Matthew Stafford.
And the Rams will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball, or are we cool to do it here in football, partner?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary, or let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance they stop passing now the way that it's going. I think they're going to continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
Delay of game, offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
And they'll still try and run for it. And he will step out of bounds. Oh, what a mistake there. And the 2-point try will be unsuccessful. Interesting call there. They went for 2 even after the penalty from the 7-yard line. It didn't pay off.
I think the first thought is to go ahead and kick the extra point, but you're not kicking it from the 7-yard line.
Yeah,
right?
because
you
get pushed
snapped.
5 back on the PA.
15 to administer the penalty, so now you're kicking it around 40 yards. So I understand why they probably went for 2 there. They thought they had a better play and a better chance in that situation.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
Fields this way up at the 17.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Well, the Niners going back on offense now late in this first half. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
On play action, Lance.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why they've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Lance looking to throw it.
That's complete to John Ross. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down.
And Lance now to throw.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner.
And the Rams are going to take possession of the football.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Get a look at this offense led by Cooper Kupp as they make their way back onto the field. Last drive, the touchdown, 4 catches, really good. He was. They were not good on the other side trying to stop him. What do they need to do?
Well, this is where the entire staff has to get involved because we always focus on the defensive coordinator. But he needs help from other people with their eyes and their expertise, and he needs to listen to them. And sometimes you just can't afford to wait on a drive and say, okay, let's get to the sidelines and start over. You need to find a way in the middle of that drive to start taking away what's hurting you.
Yeah, in-series adjustments, and how do you do that?
Well, what you do is you listen to what everyone else is telling you, what they're seeing, the patterns that are developing, and maybe you just start running extra bodies to take away that particular player.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a
Delay
delay.
game. Offense.
Just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. On 1st and 10, Stafford.
And that nearly intercepted. Well, the free safety rolling into position almost had it, but it's 2nd down.
He took a shot there, but boy, was that ill-advised from my viewpoint. Coverage was awfully tight. How did he get away with that one not being picked off?
That'll be caught. It's Kupp. So they hit pay dirt, but don't count it yet. There's laundry on the field. We'll see what the penalty flag is about.
Holding. Offense.
So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. To throw is Stafford. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Stafford. That'll be caught by Kupp. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
The final shot before the break, Stafford. And he's got it. That's Kupp for a Ram touchdown. 4th touchdown pass of the game for Matthew Stafford.
And the Rams will extend their lead here just before halftime.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the route is on here in this first half.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. Fields this way up at the 17.
So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead to the break. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is...
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started.
This one fielded at the 5. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. And we're going to look at Cooper Kupp as the Rams offense gets ready to take over possession.
What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdown.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Stafford. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That's a 3rd down conversion to 24 yards there. Nice play. Stafford looks to throw again. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Stafford looking left sideline. It's complete. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
The partner is still in the 3rd quarter, but they've got this one well in hand and still airing it out with gusto and picking up some nice gains.
And even in lopsided games like this, you don't really see starters get lifted or the foot come off the gas before the 4th quarter. No one wants to leave any doubt when they're playing well. They just want to continue the process.
And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI.
Defense.
Well, he's got to have that wrong, doesn't he? They declined that.
There's no doubt about it. Sorry to step on you there, partner, but let's go ahead and run this one together, right? Incomplete pass. Yeah, they call pass interference, and somehow you're going to decline that.
I'm so confused. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To the air again, Stafford. And he's got it. That's Cup for a Ram touchdown. Matthew Stafford does it again. 5 touchdown passes.
And the Rams take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
The Rams will line up for the 2-point conversion.
They're going to keep it on the ground. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line.
Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. The Rams go nickel here defensively on 3rd. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on here to punt it away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. Get a look at this offense led by Cooper Kupp as they make their way back onto the field. A monster game so far, 3rd quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers,
Absolutely.
Though, who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always find a way. And he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover. Now a first down throw. Stafford
Connecting with Kupp here on the out route.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 42-yard line.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Stafford.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Stafford. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete.
And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A gain of 18 on the play. First down, Rams. Hurry!
On first down, Stafford here. And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
Holding. Offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now this throw caught left side. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 20-yard line. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Let's give a little credit to the defense on that one. They resisted quite well, and that pass fell incomplete. But this ball game for him, that's just a momentary speed bump. He's played awfully well throwing the football.
Touchdown! Cooper Kupp, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Rams are an extra point away from going up by 40. They'll try and run it here. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for two is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And a little dangerous there, almost a penalty, but it does get into the end zone before going over the sideline for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Now a handoff. Hunt's going to run left. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a third and long situation coming up. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. Back now here in Santa Clara. The Niners on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be third and forever.
Throwing now is Lance.
Being chased out left. Over the middle, complete. It's Hunt. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be fourth down. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight.
Here's Powell on the return. A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards.
And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Rams to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Stafford now to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. From the gun, here's Stafford.
Looking for Cooper Kupp again, 2 in a row.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
The 2 big plays right in succession as this one goes for 27.
On first down, it's Stafford. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one goes for 24 yards. Gonna run the sweep here. This is Cup. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles.
Cooper Kupp, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Rams are closing in on a third straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter.
They're going to try and run. And he will not make it to the goal line as this try for two is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long.
You know, we've discussed this before and we've seen it at practices. Extra periods being put in for the offense on these two-point tries. But the defense, they're beefing up their support as well in practice.
They absolutely have to. If people are going to go for two and try and gain those advantages and make it tougher on your team as the game goes along, you have to be in a position to stop those. You can't let them get the advantage. So, yes, the defensive teams, they're putting in that extra time on two-point plays as well.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a fourth straight loss. He'll find Sermon out of the backfield.
And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave them with a third down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing is Lance on third down. Oh, Lance has it knocked free. The ball is loose.
Offensively lucky there, able to keep the football, but now fourth down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. One, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But two, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
A field flipper there, a 47-yard punt coupled with a loss on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10.
Just shy of the 30. Throwing is Stafford.
He's going to find Jefferson open downfield. And he's going to step out of bounds all the way down at the 30-yard line.
A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Stafford, eluding the pressure right.
And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Stafford going to throw it.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. 25 yards that time.
Well, fans expect these primetime slots to deliver some of the best games each week. And, well, one team has certainly followed through with that tonight. Just an absolute clinic, Charles, on offense here. And they don't seem to be done trying to drive that football.
Yeah, and continue your theme about one team enjoying it. One fan base is enjoying it as well. The other fan base, they might disagree with what they've seen, but the one that's winning, they're certainly getting their money's worth.
Now Stafford. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that zero on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll be second down.
Lance now to throw.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Now Lance.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight.
Oh, the return is Powell.
And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the
but a nice return of 11 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The football going back to the Rams now. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Throwing here, Stafford. He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It'll be a first down for the Rams there on a pickup of 18.
Well, partner, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Stafford. He's going to find Atwell open downfield. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Stafford on first down. Right back to Atwell. That's complete. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Now Stafford. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Stafford. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill. But remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Boy, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep. So for L.A., they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile,
I told my boys it ain't no limit. Told all my dogs it ain't no limit.